So as a last, but I think very important and exciting feature of visual improvement is red light. I talked a little bit about this on the episode of the Huberman Lab podcast, all about light and health. But there's some really spectacular, I consider it spectacular. Many other people consider it spectacular research out of University College London. And the work I'm referring to is Glenn Jeffrey's work. I've known Glenn for a long time. These are animal studies and now 2 human studies exploring how exposure to red light early in the day can offset some of the vision loss related to age-related macular degeneration, or simply age-related visual decline. Now, there's a whole mechanism here that's discussed in that episode, but it has to do with the fact that red light and near-infrared light together, or maybe even separately, when viewed for even just a minute to 3 minutes once, or maybe 2 or 3 times per week maximum, can actually reduce the number of what are called reactive oxygen species in the photoreceptors that convert photons into electrical signals the rest of the visual system can understand. So that's a mouthful. Basically, what they found was for people 40 years or older, if they viewed this red light at a distance of about 1.5 feet, although I wouldn't get too specific with this, for a few minutes each week total, they were able to offset some of the vision loss within a particular domain of vision. And I don't have time to go into the details here, but because I do that in the Light for Health episode. But you have different types of photoreceptors, cones and rods. You have different types of cone photoreceptors that respond to different wavelengths of light, short, medium, and long wavelengths of light, so-called blue, green, and red cones, they're sometimes called. When these people who are 40 years or older viewed red light on a consistent basis early in the day, and it did have to be early in the day, there was a real circadian effect there. There was a offset of some of the vision loss that would normally occur in a particular wavelength of light range that resulted in better visual acuity overall. So if you're very concerned about your vision, or you're into red light therapies, etc., there are a number of different red light devices out there. At some future point, the Huberman Lab podcast may partner with one of these red light companies. So right now, I'm not going to mention any of them in particular. They're prominent online. What you're looking for is a red light unit that provides red light and maybe near infrared, light as well. So something in the 650 to 720-ish nanometer range. So really, it's going to look red or almost invisible to you if it's really, really far into the infrared. And you'll want to view that at a distance of about 1.5 to 2 feet. And you don't want it to be so bright that it's painful to look at, okay? Because you don't want to damage your eyes. But that's essentially what they used in these studies from the Jeffrey lab. And they showed some pretty impressive offset of some of the aspects of vision loss in these people 40 and older. So that's an area that you may want to explore as well, especially for folks 40 and older. And again, this red light exposure had to be done early in the day. So hopefully that collection of behavioral tools, near, far, smooth pursuit, some of the discussion about lutein, nutrition, vitamin A, supplementation, zeaxanthines, astaxanthines, getting 2 hours of light exposure outside, sunlight exposure, get outside to do some of your work, and perhaps even deliberate red light exposure for certain people can be used to offset your concerns and your actual potential vision loss, and maybe even improve your vision regardless of what age you are. Everything I described is supported from the peer-reviewed literature. And again, if you want to get the deep dive on mechanism and further information about dosages, please check out the episode on eyesight and improving your eyesight, and the Light for Health episode